Hi everyone, Heath and Ashleigh, Cillessen Construction Company. Today we're doing an Ask a Builder series and we're going to talk about project timelines. So you might notice we have some new microphones here, just thanks to how good our YouTube channel is doing. So we appreciate all of our followers. This is also the last time we're going to do an Ask a Builder right here. We're building a little new set, sneak peek, it's coming soon. But today we're going to talk about project timelines. I'm a little nervous because I'm doing a couple projects around the house that are remodeling related and some work on our house. So I'm also going to be grilled by my wife about project timelines. So
I don't think I ever got a timeline, so I'm going to need that.
Just going to keep it going. But no, project timelines, they really are a big subject in the construction industry. Everyone, once they sign a contract, the next question is, when's it going to be done? Everyone wants to obviously sign a contract and then they want to get it done as quick as possible. And that's understandable. As soon as you start spending money on a project and you commit to it, we want to see when the finish line is going to be. So we're going to go through some questions today and we'll go from there.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
When are you going to hang the pictures upstairs?
Oh.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right.
All right.
Skip that one. Let's cut that one.
Move along. All right. When you start a new project, how do you as the contractor try to come up with a realistic timeline?
Well, internally, we do an estimated timeline just based on previous projects when we first are estimating the project. And once we go under contract, we really go through all the scope of work. We work with all of our subcontractors and all of our internal team, see how many days each portion will take. And then we put it onto a large master schedule that has the start date and the completion date.
So you usually get a pretty decent outlook right at the beginning of the project.
Yeah, it takes us a few weeks to put that outlook fully together.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's together, that's really just something we like to try and maintain throughout the project.
What's the biggest factor that determines how long a project is going to take?
Well, it's based on really scope of work, how much work there is, for one. But I always like to say, too, it also depends on how the team works together. A team on a project, in my mind, you have the owners, you have us as the general contractor, you have all the crews, and then you also have the architect, the engineer, sometimes an interior designer. How well all of them communicate and select products and have plans and overcome issues with the project is really what can impact the timeline overall the most.
Okay, so with that in mind, are there certain types of projects that almost always take longer?
Well, it's much easier to gauge the timeline of something brand new,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's an addition or maybe a full build, than it is a renovation project. Anytime you're getting into remodeling a home, there's all kinds of different things we run into. We found walls that should have even been still standing, they were so bad. And we found houses that were framed on no foundation. So it's like you don't see these things until you actually demo and uncover them. And then you have to work with that team to really come up with solutions. So usually remodels find ways in their own, just because of the existing house, to take longer.
What are the most common reasons that a project can get delayed?
Well, there's a few different delays in the world. There's things called acts of God. So that could be, storms or weather delays, things like that. Usually when we make an estimated timeline, we include a few float days to allow for that. Oftentimes what can really delay a project is if we have everything lined up and then we really change the scope of work. We add a lot of work, or we maybe don't have all the products picked out. These different items can really affect the overall timeline. And it can make it to where it's a little bit stressful at the end to finish the project too. For everyone, for the contractor and the homeowners. And no one wants to have stress at the end of it.
So you're saying when you add work to a project, it adds to the timeline?
Yes, this is true. You should know this, whenever I do work around the house, like if you want me to hang 5 pictures instead of 1, it can extend it 5 months.
It adds
like
to the
so
time. Okay.
I'm one picture a month.
One picture a month. Okay, on the 15th, you just get one picture.
Yep. Let's see here. What day is it?
We got a ways.
Yeah,
we got 12 days to rest up
until I can
before we get one
that
picture hung.
hung.
So you kind of touched on this already, but how can weather cause delays? And is there anything that you try and do to avoid that? Like, do we not renovate in the winter?
In Denver, where we live, a lot of the work we do can be done year round. Once you start to get into the mountains, a little higher elevations, it is harder to build a house in the middle of winter. There's certain foundation things that just can't be done when it's too cold.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay and you can have heaters and things like that to keep it moving, but there's only so much you can do. I was framing a house with Tom, my brother-in-law who works with us, and we were framing the house and it was 10 degrees outside. We'd work for 30 minutes and then we'd go sit in the truck and warm up for 20 minutes. And we kept doing that.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, we finally just said, let's go home. We can't get anything done efficiently.
Yeah.
So you're going to have weather delays. But again, it just depends on the year. But usually it's not so many that extends the project a month. It could maybe bump the project a week or two overall.
But you said you take that into consideration when you're building the timeline anyway.
Yeah,
so
we build in some float days. Exactly. Because we don't want every single day there's a weather delay. We don't want to have to tell our owners, hey, we had a weather delay today.
One extra day.
Your project just got bumped another day, because that just keeps kind of beating an owner down.
Yeah. Another delay, just because I've had to deal with it before.
Oh boy. I know what this question is.
What role do permits and inspections play in keeping a project on track or slowing it down?
Well, permits are a big thing, especially in different jurisdictions. For example, Denver, I've heard some of them permits taking 6 months to a year or more. Right now, we just did an addition permit in Arvada. It only took 4 weeks, but that same permit in Boulder could take 6 months. Just
Come on, Boulder.
Knowing on the front end that permits can take longer based on where you live. You can look on your jurisdiction's website and they'll tell you the average review time for your permit. Usually you add a few weeks to that because they review the permit, you have to fix some things, and then you finally get your permit.
Yeah.
But you have your permit timeline at the beginning, and we can't start work until we have a permit. And then the second thing, inspections, sometimes you'll call for an inspection, and if a building department's delayed a couple days on that inspection, that can affect your timeline. Again, we try and always are making sure we're calling our inspections 2 to 3 days ahead of time so that it doesn't affect our timelines.
Sure.
But it can.
When a delay does happen, what have you found is the best way to try and communicate that to the homeowner?
Well, again, it goes back to the project schedule. And when we meet with our clients weekly, just continuing to talk about the schedule.
So if there is a delay, the homeowner should find out about it pretty quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
During that weekly meeting.
It's not our money. It's the homeowner's money that they're paying us to do their project. We want to respect the money that they're spending. So as soon as there's something that comes up, we want to notify our clients.
How can the homeowner help keep their project on schedule?
Selecting all your materials is an important part of it. And then, staying out of the work area when work is progressing. One of my first renovation projects, I remember the homeowner, super nice, really excited about the project, but would come over every day and stand right below where the guys were working, and the guys would just have to stop working. So that affected our time a little bit. We got that ironed out and everything got done. It all worked out great. But yeah, really selecting all your materials, and then just knowing that if you add work, if you add additional scope, it's going to add more time to the project. And anything we can do to squeeze it down, for us, we don't want to slow it down. We want to squeeze the schedule as tight as we can, but we can only squeeze it so tight and still maintain the same level of quality that we expect out of our projects.
So what you're saying is if I order my appliances 2 weeks before my move-in date and they're 6 months delayed,
you're not going to have appliances.
I kind of want to ask that because it seems to happen. Homeowners don't understand that.
I'll tell you a story. So when Ashley and I first renovated our own home, it's a little bit of a different time, but we worked so hard because we didn't have any money to renovate it. And so we were doing it ourselves. So we moved into the house and we did not have a kitchen faucet or sink.
Oh, I don't want to even talk about this.
We even did our dishes in the bathtub.
I love how he says we. I love it. You were not there.
Anyways,
I don't have any visual of that.
I cooked the dinner, I think. So the point
Let's keep it honest.
If we order a faucet that's going to be 6 months delayed and you're moving in 2 weeks, you're not going to have a faucet for 6 months, but we could probably get a temporary faucet. You just have to pay for it. Then you put that faucet in. You just maybe have to pay some more for the plumber to come back and change it out.
So it's best to make your selections early on in the project.
Definitely.
So that we have them here waiting for you to be installed.
Yeah. And for us at CCC, we pre-order everything. We have a warehouse here where we store all the materials. So as soon as it's ready on the project, we'll ship it out to the job from our warehouse, and then it's ready to go. So we just keep that momentum going. All
right. If a project does fall behind, not that that's ever happened, what steps do you take to get it back on track without cutting any corners?
Asking subcontractors to work a little longer hours, work 10-hour days. They start to go from 40 to 50 hours. We're not a huge fan of pushing our subs to work Saturdays and Sundays. We feel like really family time and weekend time is important to have as workers in our industry. Yeah. But then also just putting multiple trades in areas. What I find is our subcontractors all work really well together because they've worked together on so many projects. So they can work it out, like the painter will go work in this area and maybe the plumber will work on trimming things out in this area. So we can stack subcontractors on a job, but when you do that, it just becomes, you can only put so many people.
Sure.
I know some projects at the end, we had a house in Castle Pines we did. I think we had like 60 cars on the road from all these subcontractors that were there working. And I mean, it was a 7,000 or 8,000 square foot home. So there was a lot of room to work. But even the neighbors were so happy when we were gone. So unfortunately, as a contractor, everyone's excited to see you when you first get there, and everyone's excited when you leave too. So just how it goes.
What's the toughest spot that you've ever had to park on a job site? Like, and try and get materials into the house?
The house we built on University.
That's what I was thinking of.
We had to build the entire house from the alleyway because you could not park on University. University is the main boulevard in Denver. And so everything was alley access. And there was a dent on my truck that I still have. And I just bought that truck and I got it. And
How'd that happen, Heath?
I barely touched a wall with the front of my truck. It's the first accident I've ever been in.
That was your own fault?
Ashley, how many accidents have you been in?
Moving on. So when you wait, we're done.
How many photos do we need to hang this weekend?
How many pictures do we have? Those shelves in Everett's room.
Boy, guys, this is rough.
No, it's 2 shelves.
It's weird. Something came up. I gotta work this weekend on Saturday.
What were you just saying? Subs don't work on the weekends?
It's at this place called Omni.
Family time.
It's Omni. They need me to do some work out there.
Yeah, I bet. On your backswing.
Yeah. All right. See y'all. We'll see you on the next set.